Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Peter Devine, and I'm Lightspeed's Director of Client Outreach, and in a few moments, I'll be turning the presentation over to my colleague, Chris Nally, Product Manager for Lightspeed Trader. Chris will be walking us through the new complex options trading features we have now embedded within our premier trading platform, Lightspeed Trader. All of us at Lightspeed are very excited to introduce our new complex options trading features to the Lightspeed trading community. Since our founding, Lightspeed is focused on serving the needs of the active trader. Our highly acclaimed, continuously evolving equity trading platform has always been known for its speed and incredibly customizable features, as well as its rock-solid stability. We believe that the new complex options features we've now added truly distinguish our platform from other trading platforms serving the active trader marketplace. In many ways, we believe the availability of robust complex options trading capabilities directly integrated within our high-speed equity trading platform truly presents game-changing opportunities for our client traders. Although Lightspeed has long supported options trading, up to this point, traders who wish to pursue trading strategies that were geared towards hedging and or potentially leveraging their underlying equity positions had to carry out separate options trades, legs, in a certain sequence, which in industry parlance is referred to as legging into a complex options strategy. Now, legging into a complex options positions was often less inefficient due to potential slippage and an increased use of margin. Now, with our new release, we've addressed these inefficiencies by creating our new complex order entry window, which will send entire multi-leg strategies such as spreads, straddles, or butterflies as a single order to a single destination. Traders will see faster executions of their complex orders as well as better use of their buying power through reduced margin requirements. Unlike many other firms, Lightspeed does not charge additional fees for entering complex orders. You still pay the same low per contract rate for each leg of your order with no additional order charges. Okay, so I'd like to speak to a few quick points I'd like to cover before we go through our presentation today, which, as we do for most of our webinars, we'll be recording and making available on our website, www.lightspeed.com/webinars. Please keep in mind that options involve risk and are not suitable for all investors. Before trading options, please be sure to read the characteristics and risks of standardized options disclosure, which is provided to you at the time your account is approved for options trading. Lightspeed clients who are not yet approved for options but are interested in learning more are encouraged to confer with our relationship managers at 1-888-577-3123, option 1. Our RMs and or your salesman can assist you in setting up a simulation login ID where you can get a better feel for trading options. So now, on to complex options. In today's webinar, Chris Nally will first walk us through how Lightspeed clients can download the most current software we're all excited to introduce. Then we'll review the various new windows we've created, as well as show you how easy it is to build a layout page dedicated to options. We'll then show you how up to this point, single option leg trades have been entered, and then show you how easy we've made it to initiate complex option orders through one command. We'll also demonstrate buying power computations and show you how certain custom strategies, how to set up custom strategies and save them for use again in the future. As we go through today's webinar, please feel free to pose any questions you may have in the webinar chat window. Now, as we go through the presentation, we'll be operating in simulation mode, so we won't truly emulate what real executions for options look like in a production environment, but we'll do our best to show you this new cool feature. We'll have a Q&A session after Chris's presentation, and we'll be glad to individually follow up any questions we can address today. After the Q&A, I'll talk to you about some additional related webinars that we have planned that we're all excited about as well. Okay, so without further ado, let me turn the presentation over to my colleague, Chris Nally. Chris?
Thanks, Peter. Good afternoon, everyone. First, we're going to go over the upgrading to the current version that supports the Lightspeed complex options. For those of you who are already logged into Lightspeed or are familiar with the configuration settings, on the index bar, you click C and go into the About tab on the configuration settings, and you'll see a button right below the Lightspeed Trading logo. If your version is not up to date, you'll get a prompt to download and update to the latest version, latest production version of Lightspeed, which is currently 8.0.18.1, as you'll see that I have right here on the desk. All right, moving on from that, you'll see that I have this layout page set up strictly for options. I have in the top right corner this Hot Buttons window configured to navigate from page to page. As you see on the main page of the layout, this is my equities layout that I use every day. And then as I click Next Page, it goes to the customized options layout that includes all of the windows that are necessary to trading options in Lightspeed. You can open up any of these windows by navigating to the New menu on the index bar, and you'll see the different options-related windows, such as the Options Quote, Option Chain, Option Time and Sales. There's also an Option Order Entry window, which is the traditional way that we would use to enter option orders within Lightspeed. We also have the Complex Options Order Entry window, which is new to this version, which we'll be going over. And we also have a new window called Executions, which we'll also be going into detail in the demonstration. To start, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Option Quote window. The Option Quote window has been around for a while within Lightspeed, and you'll see that it shows the depth of the option that's selected into that window. To add a option into the window, you can go ahead and double-click on any of the options within the option chain. In this example, you'll see that I have the SPY September 28, 146 call loaded. And you'll see the depth of the bids and offers on both sides. You'll also see a level 1 type section at the top of the window showing some information such as last, the open, the close, the high, the low, the volume, and the net change, along with the symbol description at the top. Now moving up to the top left corner, you'll see the option chain. It looks much similar to what it used to look like in older versions, but we made a lot of changes to accommodate the complex option order entry. You'll see the picker at the top for the drop-downs still allow you to select the date, the expiration date of any of the options that you choose to trade. And you also can choose the strike price from the price drop-down to the right. For this example, we're going to go with the monthly September 28, 2012 and the near money SPY options. We also introduced, well, let me go back here. As you double-click, as we mentioned, in the option chain, you'll see that that option will automatically link and be loaded into the option quote window in the bottom left that we just went over. And in addition to that, you'll see the option time and sales window over here, kind of in the middle of the page, that will also link and populate with the time and sales of the selected option in the chain. You also have the ability to manually change the strike and expiration by the drop-downs at the top of the option time and sales window. And now that it's after hours, this won't do anything, I guess, but if in a live environment, you would see these prints start scrolling through as they went off in the option selected. All right, now we'll go up into the option chain, and we will go ahead and I'm going to show you how we actually enter complex option orders. We have the new window right here in the left-hand middle, which is the complex option order entry window. The complex option order entry window can work in two different modes. You can see on the top right corner, it can go in single option mode, which is single legs to enter option orders, or multi-legs to enter multi-legged complex option order strategies. Now you can manually select a strategy from choosing from the drop-downs type, choosing an expiration, and these are all based on the underlier that's selected within the chain and the level 2 and the option quote window. You can choose the expiration, you can choose a strike price, you can choose a side, the ratio, which we'll go over in a few minutes, and you can select the price. You can either click on the bid to populate at the bid price. You can click on the ask, and it will populate at the ask price, or even clicking on the last will populate the price with the last price in that option. Now, we've made it a lot easier than having to manually set this up for you by utilizing a way to trade complex options and load the complex option order entry window from the option chain. So by clicking reset, I'll reset and wipe out everything that I just entered in there and start from scratch. Now we'll go up to the options chain and right-click on a put. On a call. We have the September 28th 146 SPY call. By right-clicking on that call, I have the option to either add that selected option to the complex option order entry window, or COE, or I can add a specific strategy to the COE. Now, when choosing the add option strategy to the COE, you can see the menu will only highlight the strategies that are available based on the option symbol or combination of option symbols that are selected within the option chain. So for this example, we'll keep it simple, and you'll see that since I just highlighted that one specific 146 SPY call, it only gives me the option to do a covered call. By selecting covered call, you'll see it will load the equity leg, which is a buy of 100 shares. Automatically, since it's a buy, it will populate the price to the ask, and it'll also load the sell of the 146 call at the bid price to sell. You'll also see that I have the ability to select the quantity in the top left corner. I can also adjust the net price of the complex option by clicking the up and down arrows. Once I do manually change that price, you'll see that price override kicks in, so you know that the price isn't being adjusted by the different legs within the strategy, but by the price override in the top. You also have the ability to select the time and force for the order. For this example, we'll use day. You also have the ability to select any of the available markets to send the order to. You can choose limit or market for this covered call. As shown before, the reset button will actually wipe out this window to start from scratch. You have the option to reverse the strategy. So by selecting covered call, it automatically populated the buy of the equity leg and the sell of the call. By choosing reverse, it would reverse the side from a sell of the equity leg and a buy of the call. We can also click on remove equity leg to manually take away the equity section or the equity leg within the complex option order entry window, as I just clicked there. And I also have the ability to add an equity leg by clicking back on that button. Let me just reload that covered call as we had it. One thing that's nice here within the complex option order entry window is the Save As button, where you can customize any option strategy that you'd like. So for this example, if this covered call with the sell of this 146 strike, you can choose to click the Save As button. You can name this something like SPY 146 covered call. By clicking OK, you'll see that specific strategy gets added to this custom spreads list for future use. So instead of having to go in and manually select and with that strike and have it configured that way, you can save it within the list of spreads as we just showed you. Now, once any of the option strategies that are saved within that spreads drop-down window expire, they will automatically be removed from the spreads drop-down window. So you don't have to worry about deleting them once they expire. You also have the ability of selecting a strategy kind of like we did from the right-click menu in the option chain. But if we were to manually select this option to the COE, you can go ahead and click from the drop-down within the complex option order entry window, and you'll see the highlighted strategies that are available based on the legs that are preloaded within the window. Like you'll see here, since we have the call loaded, it will only give us the ability to do the covered call. You'll see here in the right-hand side, it shows you how much that this option will cost you to pay, that you would cost to pay or receive based on the strategy loaded. All right, now I'll go ahead and click Go, and you'll see the order get sent with a confirm. All right, that confirm, excuse me one second. That confirm window shows some pertinent information pertaining to the order that you have preloaded within the complex option order entry window, such as side, the price, the order type, the different legs. It'll show you the spread of the strategy, and it will also show you your buying power requirement. Now, once you come up with and confirm that everything within this order is ready to go, you click Yes, and you'll see the order get sent to the market. All right. Now, once you send the order to the market, we're going to go ahead and show you the executions window. The execution window has 3 different views you'll see in the top right corner of the executions window: basic, open, and strategy. All right. The basic view will show you all the executions for the day. As you see here, that we haven't done anything on this session since we're on a demo environment, so there's really not much to show you, but in a live scenario, you would see all of the trades that you've done on the day. In the Open tab, you will see any open positions that you have on the day, but more importantly, the strategy view. The strategy view will show all pending orders and open positions that you currently are holding. Now, in the strategy view, you can also see the different legs that make up the covered call that we just entered. You can see the buying power requirement for each leg of the complex order, and how the executions window, it also categorizes the legs into a specific category group, which you'll see here under the covered call 2. And the requirement is in the requirement column. Now, you can cancel by right-clicking on any of the executions or orders within the executions window by right-clicking and choosing Cancel Selected. You can also break and hedge positions from this window, and I'm going to show you just how to do that in a second here. So I'm going to Cancel Selected, and you see now that I have nothing pending in my strategy window, meaning I have no open orders or no open positions within my session right now. All right, now I'm going to give you an example of how we can show you how we can break and auto hedge different positions within Lightspeed for complex options. Now, Lightspeed was designed to take advantage of automatically hedging your positions, to take advantage of and utilize your buying power based on the positions, the most effectively based on the positions and orders that you currently have on the market. I'll give you a good example of that. Okay, I'm going to reset the complex options order entry window so there's nothing in there like so. I'm going to set up a short strangle in the chain. First, I'm going to select the SPY 146 call, and then I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard and select the 145 call put. I'm sorry. Now, once those are selected, I'm going to right-click and we'll choose Add Option Strategy to the COE. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll see that only strategies that are available by highlighting those 2 options are a long strangle or a short strangle. For this example, we're going to choose short strangle. You see that both sides of both legs are entered into the COE window, and they're both set as cells, the call and the put. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Go and send that order to the market. Now you see both of those legs for the short strangle pending in the executions window. You'll see the requirement that is being used from your buying power to hold that strategy. Now I'm going to give you an example of when we break apart this complex option strategy by highlighting one of the legs, choosing break. You'll see that the confirm window will show that by using those two legs together in a complex strategy, you're only using $11,729 But by breaking them apart, it's going to use them as individual legs, not take advantage of the hedge or the short strangle, and it's going to cost you almost twice as much, $22,811. By clicking yes, you'll see that the strategy group changed from short strangle to individual option legs. And now the requirement has been added for each leg, not hedged together as the complex option strategy that we originally added. Now I'm going to go back into the option chain, and I'm going to click on the 147 call, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to add, excuse me, let me reset first. I'm going to right click. I'm going to add that to the COE. I'm going to choose buy at the ask, and I'm going to send that order to the market. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to send that in. Okay, now I have, let me see here. Now I have added that buy. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a buy. I'm going to add this put, the 147 put, to the complex option order entry window. I'm going to select buy at the ask and send that order in. All right. You'll see that I had the, let me break these back apart here. Now you'll see that by entering those two buys against the two cells that we broke apart from the short strangle are all pending as individual options. Now by right-clicking in the executions window, we'll choose Rehedge All. Lightspeed will go ahead and utilize, by combining any of the individual legs pending into the most efficient way to take advantage of your requirement, of your buying power and margin. So by selecting Rehedge All, instead of using what we're currently using at the $23,695 of buying power, it's going to just group them back together by hedging them and using $12,613. It also will group the original strangle back together as originally entered, which is more advantageous than if it would have grouped them together as two different spread strategies. So you can see right there how Lightspeed will go ahead and hedge together to your best advantage and utilize your buying power by, regardless of the strategy, it will go ahead and group it to the most advantageous one for the trader. All right, now you'll also see, if we look down below, the orders window. You'll see the orders that I entered individually come in as individual option orders, but the complex option strategy that I entered, which was the short strangle, is the one at the top here, and by clicking the plus sign, it will expand and show the individual legs within that strategy. Within the orders window, you also have the ability to right-click and choose cancel the entire order, which we'll just do right there. By canceling any part of a complex option strategy, it will cancel the entire order. You don't have the ability to cancel any individual part of a complex option order and leaving the other legs pending. They're all considered one overall order, and they'll all be canceled when selecting one part. Now also, we have the ability on the right-hand side, where we added in recent versions here, are the X's that you can add to just click on within the orders window to cancel that way. And we also added another few keys within the keyboard settings under the cancel order keys that pertain to options for the keyboard hotkeys to make it easier if that's the way that you'd like to cancel orders. So we added a few, such as cancel all buys for underlier, cancel all sells for underlier, and cancel all option orders. So instead of canceling all of your orders in general, if you're an equities and options trader with the old cancel all orders, you have the ability to break it apart and have a specific one for just options and one specifically just for equities. So I think that about covers all of the new features within the complex option order entry. Peter, do we have any questions that we can cover?
Yeah, we have a few. The first is more general, so I guess I'll tackle that. And the gentleman asked the question, just said, Hey, I'm not approved for options yet. What's the procedure to trade options through Lightspeed? And so, if you're interested in trading options, first step is to let us know. You can do that by contacting our relationship management desk. They can be reached at 1-888-577-3123, or you can email them at rms@lightspeed.com. Just let them know that you're interested in applying for an options account. They'll send you the appropriate options agreement. Now, when you're trading options, there's different levels of approval, so time doesn't permit us to step through all those different levels, but there are levels based upon your previous experience in trading options and how much capital you have, and some other factors, the type of account, and that type of thing. We'll be glad to go through it with you. That's really the first step to trading options. So I'd invite those who aren't yet approved, who are interested in trading options, to just follow up with us. Next question I got is, hey, I'm interested in seeing what trading is like on your platform and options in a simulation mode. Can I do that? And I'll tackle that one as well. And so, yeah, existing Lightspeed clients can talk to the relationship management desk and/or their salesperson, and we'll see if we can set you up with simulation ID geared towards options trading, and we'll step through the details of that with you as well.
Peter, can I interrupt you for 1 second? There's something here that I thought of as I was looking around here, of something that I failed to mention that I want to go over that's real important. You'll see in the individual option leg that I added in the COE here has something here called ratio. Now, ratio pertains to the quantity. It pretty much is the lowest common denominator of the size that's entered based for each leg. Adding multiple legs, say we made the quantity 2 or 3, say 2, and we had ratio as 1, it would enter the strategy as a quantity of 2. If I was to go ahead and change the quantity to the ratio to 2 on both of these, at a quantity of 2, it would send, let me say here, if I did a quantity of 4 and had a ratio of 2, it would send the quantity of 8 to the market. So it's the lowest common denominator of each of the quantity selected, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then one other thing to mention is that if you look in the bottom left-hand corner here at the complex option order entry window that we traditionally use within Lightspeed, you'll notice the buttons that have sell to open or close and buy to open or close. Within the COE window, you don't have to worry about marking whether they're buys or sells to open or to close. Lightspeed automatically will figure out opening and closing orders based on the positions that you currently have, so you don't have to take the time or worry about making an error based on opening or closing marking. Lightspeed will figure that out by using the COE.
Okay. So another question that came in is, I trade options on another platform and I rely on this provider's access to analytical options information called Greeks. What you guys have done is impressive, but are you planning to add Greeks in the future?
Yes, actually, Greeks are in the process of being developed. I don't really have a time frame right now, but I would look in the near future version. Greeks should be available.
Great. I know that a lot of experienced option traders will love to hear that.
One more thing here I want to mention that I just saw again. Sorry. When you have a position, which I wasn't able to execute and show something now based on the time of day, but by right-clicking on a position that you have, you'll notice there is the ability to close in COE. So if you had a complex option strategy and you right-clicked on it, let's see that it would give you, in the positions window, it would give you the ability to close out in COE. Then it would add the specific strategy and the opposite side to get you out of that closing that strategy to close you out. And you can also, one more thing within the option quote window, once you have a quote loaded in the options quote window, you also have the ability to right-click within the level 2 section of that window and add that symbol to the COE.
Yeah, that's a great feature there, absolutely. So there's a gentleman asking, and I think this is really pertinent to each individual connection into us, but just asking, hey, do the quotes update fast if you type in a new ticker? And we're operating in simulation mode, so but the answer
the quotes are still real time of what we're connected to now. I know it's aftermarket, but I can, as you see, I type in an underlier within my regular equities level 2 in the bottom middle here. I type AAPL. You'll see the chain loads instantaneously, pretty much in this example, and by double-clicking on any of the options within the chain, you'll see the options quote window loads quickly also in the bottom left here.
Okay. And then a related question is, and the answer is yes, but I'd like to have you elaborate on it. Can you get charts on the options that you're showing?
The charts will pertain to the underlier. Let me see. So if we had a chart open, it would just show you the chart on the underlier, not the specific option that you're trading or looking at. They don't link according to the options quote or option time and sales. The chart will just be based on the underlying data.
Okay. All right. Another question that's being posed is, I'm starting to learn more and more about options. Are there places I can go on the Lightspeed website to learn more about options? So yeah, we've done some previous webinars about options trading in the Lightspeed Trader platform. They're recorded and archived on our webinar page on our website. There are also some other sources of options educational information that are out there. One that comes to mind is there's an industry-wide source called the Options Industry Council. Definitely encourage those interested in learning more about options to visit that website. There's a lot of information on that site. You could access that through www.optionseducation.org. If you're not familiar with that site, spend a few minutes checking that out. There's a wealth of information, and as I said, there's also specific to the Lightspeed Trader platform, on just regular options trading before this new release. We have some webinars, and this webinar will of course be recorded, and we'll have some additional webinars that I'll speak to in a minute that are also about options trading using our new platform. So if there are other questions, I'd invite our audience to tee them up now. There's a lot of information that we tried to show you. The basic goal of today was just to introduce you to the new features that we've worked hard to develop. I can't stress enough that the ability for our system to automatically recognize strategies and group together strategies such as Chris showed you, that's a real game changer. We're able to do so, utilizing a much more efficient computation of buying power, and many traders who've looked at this and helped us in beta mode, have raved about the much more efficient calculation of buying power, and we're thrilled to hear that. And there's a ton of new features. A lot of the the key is just how easy it is to construct these strategies. How easy it is if you wish to break the strategy, just individual legs, and all that stuff is done really, really quickly, and a lot of that stuff that you used to have to calculate manually, etc. We're doing all those calculations for you, and that's really the beauty of what we've introduced here. Okay, so let me see, a couple other questions came in. Hey Chris, how come the time and sales window is blank currently? And I think you said before that's because it was during after hours.
Right. There are some that just did go off here. That once you have something pulled up and you go back to it, you'll get the history of something that you've already looked at if it did trade. So here's an example of what the options will look like in the time and sales window. But based on the time of day, there's obviously nothing going on in the options markets right now, so it's very difficult to give an example of that.
Okay. So, in coming out with this new software, just want to stress again that, we're committed here at Lightspeed to continuing to improve the software. Typically when we release new, game-changing features, such as we feel what we're doing here, our clients are real helpful to us in, working with it and giving us feedback and suggesting ways to further improve it. So, we're already getting that feedback from our clients, and we're thankful for that. And I'm sure that those of you who aren't yet using this new software, you'll be giving us good feedback as well and good suggestions. Okay, so another question that came in. You know what? This other question I think we'll discuss offline. I know the gentleman asking it, and we'll go through that offline. Okay, so like I said, if there are any other questions, now would be a great time to entertain them. If not, I want to just stress a couple of things. We do truly believe. Well, before I go into that, there's another question. I don't think this feature is available yet, but perhaps you can clarify that, Chris. Can you customize a window to include your commission cost?
Customize a window to include commission cost. You can go into, I believe it's the Design tab, and you can choose if you can enter you can manually enter a rate, and it will calculate based on per 1,000 shares, and we'll add it into a net P&L calculation. That's been there. That's been in the app for a while. Not specific to options trading, though. If that's the question, am I catching that right, Peter? Peter?
Okay. So let me just bring this to a closure, unless there are any other questions. From Lightspeed's perspective, as I said, we do definitely believe that these enhancements we've introduced set in motion some fundamental, game-changing opportunities for our trading community to pursue. So while today's webinar focused on the new options features found within Lightspeed Trader, we're pleased to announce that we'll be following up today's webinar with 2 additional webinars that are focused specifically on actual options trading strategies. So next week's webinar on September 26th will feature Ralph Michel of the Cyber Trading University, who will be discussing various types of complex option strategies and how and when they're typically used. In addition, on October 10th, we'll be hosting options expert Dan Nathan, a frequent guest on and contributor to CNBC, who will be sharing many of the directional strategies he utilizes. We'd like to encourage our listeners to enroll for these upcoming webinars as well. And I might add that options trading, it's definitely an area of growth in our industry, and a means by which many people are taking advantage of opportunities. Using different and or less capital in certain situations, and as we said before, much more efficient use of buying power in many situations. So we certainly look forward to continuing dialogue with the Lightspeed trading community about our complex options order entry features and all the different things we've changed in our software, and why frankly we feel it's a game-changing opportunity for Lightspeed. As I said before, we remain committed to further improving the software. We're going to take feedback that we get from our clients and suggestions, and do our best to work them into the software. Our support staff desks are being brought up to speed with these new features, and we'll be happy to entertain any questions that you have. There are some folks today who've asked some questions that are individual follow-up, and we'll certainly be happy to do that. And if you're interested in trading options with Lightspeed or interested in trading options in general, do some research, get yourself up to speed with how options work if you're not already familiar with it, and our relationship managers can walk you through how the approval process goes. When trading options, there are certain options market data packages that one subscribes to. We'll review the cost to you. We'll entertain a dialogue as we go through this. Definitely encourage folks to sign up for next week's webinar and the webinar on the 10th. And as now that this complex options order feature has been incorporated directly into our software, we'll have an ongoing commitment to trader education through options education through these forums and webinars. And if there's a question that you didn't get addressed today or didn't get the opportunity to ask, by all means, feel free to submit them. And myself, Peter Devine, and Chris Nally, or our relationship managers or trade desk will entertain them and we'll get back to you. I guess if there are no further questions, that we can go through at this time, I'll bring this to a close and just remind everyone that in short order, a day or so, we'll have this presentation up on our website where you can play it as often as you want and pause it and so forth. If you'd like more information about the layout that Chris has gone through with you, feel free to contact our trade desk and we can step through that with you. I want to thank everyone for participating in the webinar and adding your questions and your general enthusiasm for the work that we've undertaken here. And as I said, Lightspeed is we're excited with the introduction of the software. We've looked at other packages out there and folks that come to us with ideas, and we think that we're coming to market with an exciting way to trade options and do so much more efficiently and effectively than we were able to in the past. So, and thank you in advance for your suggestions that will help us make our application even better. So, okay, well, Chris, thanks again for another excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And thank you to our audience for participating today. And yes, by all means, this presentation has been recorded, and we'll make it available very shortly. And we hope to see you on a future webinar real shortly. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care.